Hey there, welcome to Synth Seeker. My name's Luke. I am not sitting at the piano. I'm sitting over here playing with this K2 here. This just came in the mail the other day, Behringer K-2, which is an MS-20 clone. I've been fiddling around with it, doing a little Berlin schooly things. And I have to say, I've had the MS-20 Mini a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. But this takes up less space and sounds, I think, just as good. Is it exactly the same? No. It's missing a few things. You can't take, there's no mod wheel input for it, which is kind of annoying. But, you know, whatever. And I cannot get the filter, the resonance on the filter to track across the octave reliably, which is a little annoying. There's a few tricks it can't do then. But other than that, I've been playing with this, trying to get a nice spacey Berlin school pluck, like real classic. Got some filter modulation going on, so it's going to come in and out. I've laid thick reverb on it, and some delay. And I have literally just been playing with the arpeggiator in Ableton, not this one. I actually was using the Matriarch arpeggiator, but Ableton's has a feature or two that I like more. So I'm using that one. And so I'm just going to make some noise. Then I'm going to flip back over to Ableton, still controlling the K2, but I'm going to show you an arpeggiator setting that I really enjoy playing with. It's really simple. Maybe you know about it, but I'm just going to share it with you. But first, let's just make some noise, okay? Here we go. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's fiddle with the filter a little bit while we're going. Let's just get something running here. I love this the high pass filter resonance. It's just great. go back over to the other keyboard. Take a look. Okay, here we are. So, within Ableton, what are we doing here? All right, so what's in the rack here? So I've got a bunch of my utilities. This is pitch velocity stuff. Don't have to worry about that. Here's the Ableton arpeggiator. We'll get back to the in a second. We've got the K2 external instrument device, right? Sends MIDI out to the K2, brings audio back in. I've got some modulation effects. I've just got a little canned rack that I use from time to time. I've got some phaser on it. I've got the echo device basically out here, and a bunch of reverbs, a room ambience reverb, a stage reverb, and then a black hole reverb, and I layer them all on top of each other. So, and that gives me the ambience I want. All right. What I wanted to show you guys was within the Ableton arpeggiator, there's a lot of patterns, a lot of different kinds of patterns and things like that. And you can build your own step sequencers and do interesting things like that. But I want to advocate for the down pattern or the up pattern. But right now we're just going to look at down. Down does one thing only. All right, it's just going to go down. Right? Down, down, down. And I've got it set so that it also jumps an octave. We've got the distance of 12 semitones with one set. So it's going to play the arpeggiation, 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to go up 12 semitones and go 1, 2, 3. So. All right, pretty basic stuff. All right. Now, the one little thing that I really love that's easy to miss is this re-trigger option. All right, and I set it to note. Okay, it's usually off. You could set it to beat I'll get into that at another day, but I like to set it to note because when I'm using the down style arpeggiator, and I've got, regardless of whether I'm doing, octaves or not, what it lets me do is hold a chord out and then play a melody with any hand. Just you play a melody. And every time you play a new note, it re-triggers the arpeggio. Okay. So what that lets you do, especially when you're doing a down style arpeggio, is it will re-trigger from the note you're playing and start walking down. So you can play these nice melodies while everything else is arpeggiating, and the melody rings out nicely through the arpeggio. I may not be explaining this very well, so let me demonstrate. So I'm going to start this here. All right, and I'm just going to play a little melody here. Did you hear that? So it's following the melody I'm playing. All right. If you don't have this re-trigger set to note, if you've got re-trigger off, you'll kind of get that melody out there, but it's not going to follow your playing quite so much. You have less control. So let me show you. Here's the re-triggers off. Right? So if you do a run, it'll follow, depending on how you've timed it. But my syncopated melodies don't get played when I play them. They get played the next time the arpeggiation wraps around to where it's at. So you set re-trigger to note, and it's a whole lot, you get a lot more control. All right, so that's the quick and dirty tip for tonight. Two things. The K2 is a great synth. It's $199. I'm not a shill. This is not sponsored, okay? I'm not even a real big fan of Behringer, okay? Behringer, however you pronounce it. I like their guitar pedals a lot. This is my first Behringer synth, the K2, and I missed my MS-20. And at $200, that's like the cheapest synth I own at this point, right? Except maybe the Monotrons. And so I'm liking that synth, and it's great for Berlin School. If you want to get into hardware for Berlin School, K2 is a hard thing to beat. And then in the arpeggiation world, as far as Ableton's concerned, or if you're using some other arpeggiator, any of the step sequencers that'll follow you are effectively, doing the same kind of thing. You want to make sure they re-trigger on note. Every time you play a new note, they re-trigger. It's a great tool. And really, that's about it. I just had a hankering. I was making Berlin School noises tonight, and I said, yeah, let's turn on the camera, and we'll fiddle around and see if anything comes out of this. So, hey, thanks for watching. The music diary is still in the works. Going to be doing more hardware there. And thanks for watching, okay? So have a great week, whatever's left of it, where you are. My son, his days off are Wednesday, Thursday. That's his virtual weekend. So for today's Friday for him, sort of. If you're in that boat, enjoy your weekend. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. You've been watching Synth Seeker. Have a good one.